Hello, everyone! I have accepted that is the intro now, and I'm slowly becoming used to it. Brandy, you look amazing. You got the haircut. I'm slowly fading
Thanks.
into non-existence, apparently, because my shirts don't like the green screen. But how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Today
That
was
is
my
awesome to hear.
my first day back at work from a long weekend, and
Ooh.
it was definitely a first day back at work.
Oh, that's always a struggle, isn't it? Oh, see, I'm lucky. I don't get any holidays, so I'm good.
Oh.
Ah. And also, I'm like lagging. Like it's gonna be what it's gonna be. But you know what? We got our friends here, the usual culprits. We got Rapunzel, lovely nerd, hopefully safe from the storms in Louisiana, as Bree pointed out there. And we got Louise X Sparrow saying hello from across the pond. Um, Honestly, I can't do a British accent to save my life. I watch Doctor Who all the time, and I can't. I can do a Scottish accent. I can do a Scottish accent, but that's
Hey,
about it.
that's
Yeah.
that's an
Oh,
accent.
good. Yeah, well, yes. Oh, Scottish. I have a cousin in Dundee, so I should be able to do it. But Rapunzel says back home power's on, internet is, well, intermittent. Hey, there you go. Better than the no internet, and the cats are still adjusting. Poor kitties. Hopefully they're okay. And yeah, I understand with the cats and everything with radar. So hopefully you're doing okay, and I'm glad that you have your power on, because then you can join us. Welcome
Woohoo!
to the chaos. Uh, oh, it's going to be a great episode, guys. We're talking about the Northern Air Temple, and I think, Brandy, this is the first time I've agreed with a Netflix description.
Did
It's
it
kind
happen?
of weird.
Did
It
it
did.
happen?
I'm interested to see if everyone else agrees with it, because I think it does a decent job of like clickbaiting you into watching the episode while also talking about what happens in it. Because for them, they put on their continuing journey north, Aang and the others hear rumors about a surviving band of airbenders requiring a visit to the Northern Air Temple. I think that's pretty darn good.
I think it is better than some of the other ones.
I mean, it's such a low bar, anything exceeds it.
I do kind of think that like again it's just like whoever is writing these is just watching like the first couple minutes of the episode and then writing them, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
there's I mean there's not a lot in this episode, but there is more than that than the description.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's a ton more as we find out. This is a dark episode. I don't know if you felt the same way, but this is like, shit. Okay.
I don't think it's as dark as some of them have been. Um, but I think that again, like this is another really important episode that kind of happens, or at least the last 30 seconds of the episode is very important because it pays off
Mm.
in a pretty major way.
And there is actually a hidden Easter egg I didn't find until now, 16 years later, that pertains to later in the season, or
Well, that's
the
okay.
season two, which I'm
We
just
don't.
like, what?
We
That was
don't.
my face.
You were like, what?
What? Have I really been this like blind since I was a child? Like, oh well. But yes, do you have a better description though? Because I have a feeling you do.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so my description is Aang struggles to accept changes of the Northern Air Temple and discovers a scheme that could affect the outcome of the Hundred-Year War.
Ooh, see that has more gravitas to it. That has
Mm-hmm.
more meat. I
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
I like that a lot. That one, because it also, it touches on more than just they're going to a temple. It gives you a little
Yeah.
bit more understanding.
Yeah, because I think that this episode very quickly turns from, oh, let's go investigate this, to let's deal with these problems that are happening at the Northern Air Temple. Oh, thank you.
Brandy's is better. We all know every week. I love it.
Did I write that on my lunch break? Yes, I did.
Did I watch this episode during my break in between cut-ins at work? I think so.
Our-
We both, when we get the time, you have to use it.
Exactly. I was like, oh, I'll write it at work, and then work quickly turned into, am I even gonna get a lunch break?
Oh, Brandy.
So I was like, I have got to write that description.
Hey, for the fact that you wrote it on a lunch break and this person got paid to write it for Netflix, you're coming out on top every single time.
Hey. We may
You
be
can have a
biased.
side hustle. Yeah. Well, we've only done 17 episodes. Come on, clutch on top. That's a pretty good ratio right there.
All right.
Oh, but yes. No, this episode, I gotta say, I completely forgot about the intro to it. When it comes to the guy who's telling the stories about the airbenders, he's like, well, Grandpa saw them last week. Oh, like, this dude, I forgot for a second. I was like, did this actually happen? Is this like a deleted scene or something?
I think it's a cute, like, little idea. And this is just like my editing brain coming into play. I would have cut that because them just like flying to the Northern Air Temple makes complete sense. Like, they're on their way. They need a safe place to stop. Why not just stop at the temple?
Exactly.
And then, like, as they're coming up, they see these people, like, gliding in the air.
Oh my gosh, they're alive!
Katara and Sokka just, like, start losing their minds, and Aang knows right away that it's something different. Like, this takes up so much time in an already, like, pretty jam-packed episode that I would cut it. and also, take those couple of minutes to explore somewhere else in the episode. But you know what? That's fine. We have what we have, and it's all right.
Yeah. Well, also the thing when they fly up to the temple and he goes, they're not flying, they're just gliding. I just thought, it's like Toy Story. You're not flying, you're falling with style. That's exactly like, oh, Rapunzel, that could be another thing.
Well, like, and here's the next thing. So, like, he says that they're just gliding. But, like, given what happens in Korra, isn't Aang just gliding?
Yeah, he's manipulating the air currents around his glider. I mean, it's called a glider, yeah. Aang, are you being a hypocrite?
I think he is. I'm like, whoa, buddy. Technically, you ain't flying either. Maybe also, you can just control it better.
There you go. Yeah, it works. And all you fancy people in your lunch breaks, you could just hide in a broom closet when the kids are at recess.
No, just take a slice of that humble pie, Katie.
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel that. I definitely do, because I had a teacher who genuinely, like, locked the door. If we needed something during lunch, like, door is locked, you aren't going to be getting any kind of help. And then I had other teachers who were like, yeah, come eat lunch with me, we'll talk about this assignment. It's like, I feel like Rapunzel's the good kind of teacher. I totally feel that. And also, Great-Grandpappy is adorable. They do have some really good old people in this show. You got Boomy, you got Great-Grandpappy. Hama, we won't talk about Hama. But,
Gran.
Paku, kind of.
We won't talk about Paku. We won't talk about Paku. Paku's not a great old...
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a fancy TV station job, I guess. If only you knew. If only you knew.
It's not fancy. It's not fancy. We work at local TV stations.
Local. Just think PBS, but not.
Like, the station I work at was built in the 70s, people.
Oh, man. The TV station in Kalamazoo, Michigan is an old car dealership. Their studio is the old showroom.
Exactly.
It's wild. It's wild. Oh, yeah. Gran is God. Yes. Oh, but yeah, so the gang finds out, hey, we're going to the Northern Air Temple. We're going to find maybe some airbenders. And, that's going to hurt the psyche a little bit if you're going and you're like, I can see there's people flying. And for just that half a second, Aang might think that he's not alone. And then it's just ripped apart.
Well, I was like his entire journey from where they were like, at that campsite, flying to the Northern Air Temple, like, the entire time, Aang has, like, got to be like, I knew it. I knew I wasn't alone. I knew that there had to be others. And then just immediately seeing this, and then people are flying around, and he just knows immediately, and it's just like, I imagine that it's almost like he's back at the Southern Air Temple, and dealing with all those emotions that came up again. So it's like having hope, and then the hope is like slaps you across the face and laughs at you.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
And then just leaves.
Yep. Like, Aang goes, ha, gravity. And then life is just like, Aang.
Yeah.
Oh, bad. And yes, the old car dealership totally works for Michigan. It's the only place that would. Tim Todd's in the house. How's it going, Kylo Tim? Thanks for stopping by. Happy Star Trek Day. It is Star Trek Day, by the way, Brandy. I know.
Oh, is it Star Trek Day?
Star Wars fan.
I gotta find my lens. There it is.
Hey! Can you do the inverse?
Yeah.
See, I had so much trouble learning how to inverse, and it hurts. Ugh. But did my mic pick that up?
Did your...
Oh, I just cracked it like a celery stick. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a stressful day. Not as stressful as Aang's, though, because
No.
I don't know. When I watch these episodes, nowadays I try to put myself in those characters' places, and I just think, like, that we're so mental health centric these days, and we're starting to realize mental health and how to keep it healthy, for lack of a better term. Just Aang must be wrecked. I'm surprised he didn't go into the Avatar state in this episode.
Well, not to jump ahead, but like I was kind of noticing. So when they're like in the bathhouse, or what's going to be the bathhouse, and
yes,
that Boulder comes in, and he starts talking, and like he gets really angry, and if you kind of listen to like how they treated Aang's voice in that scene, like it's a little bit bigger, and it kind of echoes a little bit, but nobody else's voice kind of echo. And so I kind of don't wonder if like he was really like keeping that like locked in, like he was just so close. And
Kyoshi just looked and oh, go ahead.
Oh well, I was just gonna say I think what really stopped him was that the mechanic or machinist or whatever the heck his name is, he goes, "What the doodle?" And like that was just enough for Aang to be like, did he seriously just say "what the doodle"? Like he was trying to react to how stupid that was, but he was too angry.
Yeah, I mean, it is a shock. It's like when you go to an elementary school and the teachers just start cursing in children's speak, like, "Oh, fiddlesticks, fire truck," something like that. Oh, damage. Yeah, that was my brother's favorite as a kid. But no, part of me thinks it was Kyoshi just being like, "Ooh, he's choosing violence. Roku, stay back." And like just waiting, and Roku
yeah,
just goes,
Roku,
"No,
this does not call for you, buddy."
Yeah, he never knew. He said, "What the doodle?" Just this man. The second you see him, he's... Oh my gosh, I clicked the wrong button. I almost left the stream. That could have been bad.
Funny.
We good. But this man, you take one look at those eyebrows and you know he's insane. I had a teacher at the Battle Creek Area Math and Science Center. He retired last year. His name was Mr. Payson. This man is this guy in real life. He is insane and amazing, not at all evil or aligned with any bad organizations as far as we're concerned, but he is phenomenal. I'm going to try and find a picture of him while I can. But this guy is one of the more complex supposed one-off characters, considering it's more episodic in the show right now. We aren't revisiting anything yet. I don't know about you, but I thought this was like, they spent a lot of time investing in him as a character.
They really did, and I kind of don't wonder. I mean, it's hard to say because it's like a part of me really wants to say that like, oh, the creators like had all 3 seasons planned out from the get-go, but I highly doubt that that's like possible. just because like as storytelling, you want to remain fluid and everything. So, but like I kind of don't wonder if they just always kind of had larger plans for him, or they really just wanted to explore somebody who who is a good person, but because of this war and because of the Fire Nation, that they were just kind of like forced into doing these things to protect their family and stuff like that. So yeah, like we get a lot of investment with him, but then at the same time, it's like we, we don't see him for a while.
Exactly, yeah. It's a long-term investment, and there is one scene that I must point out where they knew they were going to bring him back. And I have a picture to prove it. And I wonder if
And
you noticed it too.
I kind of wonder um, if they were using this guy's character to kind of develop Sokka a little bit more,
Oh,
because
for sure.
up until this
Well, you
point, like
see,
we never really think of Sokka. Like, yeah, he's like a nice idea person, but we've never really seen like this inventor side of him, and so I feel like this is like they've used the mechanics character to kind of bridge like Sokka's own development. Um,
exactly. Well, and in the Southern Water Tribe, you don't have resources like this to invent.
yeah,
That'd be like being a person who wants to be a meteorologist in Nevada, and then you get plopped in Oklahoma. Gotta keep it relevant. But you get so many different changes, and this definitely was an emerging episode for Sokka because now we see him as the thinker rather than just the goofball,
yeah,
which was pretty
just the
cool.
sarcastic meat-eating guy.
Yes, exactly, exactly. And you know what's interesting? If I can find where the picture is. Have you noticed the drawing he's making?
So I knew that this was here. I can't say that I knew this because I noticed it. I just knew it because I don't know, I'm me and I just know these things. But yeah, no, I think that that's I think that that's very cool.
I totally had no idea until I saw a freeze frame of it on a page. And okay, so these pages are following like the episode by episode track that we're taking, which makes me think that some people listen to the show and watch along. But yeah, Rapunzel, that was my reaction.
Exactly. This
What?
is this is like um this is like Emperor Palpatine looking at the Death Star plans
Yeah, exactly.
in in Revenge of the Sith, and like Count Dooku having them in Attack of the Clones. Like this is pretty monumental.
Oh, yeah. Also, I am still trying to find my professor or my high school teacher's picture. I'm going to find this for us because, yeah, I feel like I'm looking away. I am paying attention. I'm just trying to find this man because y'all need to see him. But yeah, this thing it comes back in season 2, pretty big in a pretty big way, if I do say so myself. Along with the other inventions we see in this episode, and this seems like the first time in the show that they are really setting up for the future.
Yeah, this one really does have a lot of repercussions. Not immediately, not in this season, and not really until towards the end of the second season, and then middle of the third season. So, yeah, it's
Oh
it
wait,
does
clicked on the wrong one.
it does so much, and like this episode, it goes by so fast because
Mhm.
we have Aang dealing with these people who are in the Northern Air Temple and kind of changing it and tearing things down and building things within it, and Aang doesn't like that because he wants everything to be like it was when he was there. And then we have him kind of like accepting these people here, and then we have this mechanic and Sokka going on like their adventures, and like these are such quick scenes
Yes.
And I think
You never really
that's
catch your breath.
you can. You're just like,
Just, oh, I'm
and
enraged. Oh my gosh, I'm shocked. Oh my gosh.
so I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like this one a whole lot is because it does go by so quickly, but
Oh.
like again like this has such monumental moments that pay off in the next time, but it's just like I don't know. I really struggle to like really like this one, and
See, I like this one.
well, that's fine. Like I
This
don't
is
think that
just
there's
more. This is more fuel to the fire that I am Kirk, you are Spock, and we are very good friends, but very different.
but
That's great.
it's just like I don't know. This episode's just so middle of the road because I don't think it's that funny. I don't think it does too much character development for anyone. Like we get a little bit with Sokka and we get a little bit with Aang, and like Katara is just kind of there.
Yes, she is. She
And
has 2 little fancy bending tricks, and that's like, okay, that's it.
okay, nice. Thanks for coming. Like it just I don't know.
Well, there is one for me. The thing that I like the most about it is the scientific side of it, because very rarely in kid shows do you find scientific processing and thinking. And when the egg breaks and Sokka, starts to become this guy who starts to think things through and step through the processes and tell about the scientific process that he's thinking about. I like that because that's the kind of kid I was. I was like, "There's a problem, let's find a solution." So I think that's one of the reasons why I really like the episode.
Maybe that's my problem is that it is like too sciencey, and I'm like, science.
Well, also this Katara did only swallow a bug. There really wasn't much else in the character for this episode.
It really wasn't like she wasn't like, oh, Aang, like she doesn't help Aang at all. Like she's just there.
Yeah.
like even when Aang is like yelling at them for destroying that wall and everything, Sokka and Katara do nothing to be like, hey, maybe we should calm down. They just like stand back there, and then the mechanic explains while they're there, and like his wife died and Teo got hurt and he relocated his whole village for safety. And like Katara is crying at the end and like using Aang's robe to wipe her tears.
Yeah.
And Sokka's just like,
Bruh.
And like they still do nothing. And again, I think that's one of the reasons why I don't like it so much is because here we have Katara who usually like talks Aang out of like anger and helps him understand things, but she really doesn't. And then like another thing that I don't like is so like Teo takes him to that door that only an airbender can open.
Yes.
And Aang is just like, well, I'm gonna keep this closed because it's probably the only part of the temple that hasn't been touched, and I just want to keep it that way. And Teo's just like, that's fine. I just wanted you to know that it's here. And then like we have like a scene with Sokka, and then it goes to them and Katara's flying, and like Teo has like this airbending moment or whatever, and Aang's like, you know what? He may not be an air nomad, but he has the spirit of one. Of course I'll open that door for you. And I'm just like,
It's a pretty quick flip there, eh?
it is so quick. It is so quick. And I'm just like, hey.
Yep. Okay, bet. No, that is a good point though. Like the quick shift of him being like, he is not an airbender. This is like, to the point of it offends him that they'd even try. And apparently in the books, they talk about, and in the comics they talk about the cultural appropriation of the airbenders. Mm-hmm. And that was the first thing that I remembered from this episode was, man, this is they're kind of treading on some interesting ground here, because if you're starting to pretend to be an airbender and you've taken over their temple and this stuff, but then it's like you're just trying to survive.
I don't think these people are trying to be like live like air nomads or anything like that. So like in the comics, they're dealing with, like, the air accolades.
And the
And
tattoos.
yeah. And so there's all this stuff of, like, them, in that comic, I think Aang kind of struggles with, like, well, are they doing it because they care in preserving this, or are they doing this because they think it's cool? Is this just like a fan club? And Aang has a lot of trouble with that. And in here, I don't think Aang is so much troubled that the people are here. I think he's more just like, they're destroying culture, like his culture, without batting an eye. And they're building all these things, like pipes are going through walls, and they have no idea what this wall even means, or what that fountain with the sky bison means, or
Exactly.
any of this. And like, you, throughout the episode, like, you'll learn that something really is in that room that's behind that airbending door. But like, was that another Avatar room, or was that something else? Like, we don't even know, because it's completely changed. And so these people are almost like wiping away this history without
Exactly.
even thinking about, like, the consequences. And I think that's what Aang is most upset about. If these people were just living in the temple, he would be like, that's pretty chill. Or at least I think he would. I don't necessarily know. But I think he would accept it so much more quicker and wouldn't be so angry. But it's the fact that they are destroying his culture and almost wiping it away, and that's where he's just like,
Yeah.
no. Like, it's bad enough. It's bad enough that my people are gone. Now you're trying to take this away from me.
Exactly. No, and I don't know. If I were in their shoes, I would not change that temple. I'd be like, history needs to be preserved. We'll add on and add additions, but we are not going to change the temple. But yeah, and also, this is a good question, Bree. Did we see this temple in Korra? Part of me thinks we do.
I don't.
Google.
Oh gosh. Well, yeah.
In Legends of Korra.
Because I know they go. Yeah, they go to the Southern Air Temple, maybe.
Oh golly. Let's see. Wait a second. The temple was later restored to its former glory by Avatar Aang and the Air Acolytes after the 100-Year War, and after airbending resurfaced in non-bending citizens following the harmonic convergence of 171 AG, it became the training grounds for those new at the art. However, when the Red Lotus arrived, the building was eventually destroyed by Gazan, who used his lava bending to destroy the temple's foundations, which eventually led to the building's collapse. That was in book 3, Enter the Void.
So they do go to the northern.
Oh crap, they destroy the northern temple!
This poor northern temple.
You can't get your break! That's awful. That's so bad. Yeah, no, it is sad when he realizes that it's not his family, and they're destroying his home, but eventually, evens out. He's like, okay, you're just trying to survive, but gosh, I can't get over they destroyed it. Korra went hard, man. Not a lot of
really
people,
did. Korra showed up, and everybody was like, you didn't have to go that hard, but okay.
They're like, hey, you're grown up now. Get ready for the real freaking world.
Get wrecked.
We're going to torture her. We're going to give her PTSD. We're going to destroy everything. We're going to suffocate people. My gosh, now that I think about it, that show is dark.
It really is.
Ooh. Okay, well, on a lighter note, real quick, I did find that picture of my teacher. This is Charlie Payson. And he is literally the mechanic because he is the robotics team coach. Or he was before he retired. So that man has the same place in my heart as this dude. They're pretty close. They both have the beard. He's probably gonna lose a finger one of these days. Like, it works. Let's see. Korra was pretty hardcore. Really sucks to a lot of people. A hater in the beginning. Yeah. I don't know. I liked season 1. I like pro bending. I'm like a violent person, I guess.
I really like season 1, and I really like season 3. Season 2, I don't know. Like, season 2 with Korra, I'm kind of like, what? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And
And
then season 4, you're just like, shit.
Well, season 4, for me, I'm kind of like, this is a good idea. I like this, but season 4 idea was really, I think, like a 2-season idea. Like, it could have benefited from having a bit more time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And not
Um,
being digital only, but I can see why they had to take it off of the channel.
yeah.
Ooh, that was dark. Also, are you ready to see you ready to see something that'll hurt your heart? Because I
Oh
think
no.
I've suppressed this memory.
Huh.
That's from Legend of Korra.
No, yeah.
And
Yeah,
I just
because this is the temple that they're at, and then, like, the Red Lotus attack. Spoiler alerts for Korra, I just realized. Oh my gosh.
Oh snap. We had 4 people and I'm pretty sure I know all 4 of them have seen the show, so we're good.
But no,
Replay people.
like, this is like where all the new airbenders, like, get taken or captured.
Yes, and where
Yeah.
they almost off Tenzin.
Okay,
As
but
long as
Tenzin
I'm
put up
still
a fight.
breathing, there's
Like
hope.
that Tenzin's fight with the Red Lotus. Pretty good
Yeah.
fight sequence.
It's straight out of a good quality fan fiction, basically. Like, that is a violent, heart-wrenching fight. Oh, but this is sad to see because actually, wait a second. With all the natural gases and stuff. Also, why am I? Ugh. You can tell I'm tired because I'm lisping. But all the natural gases and stuff. Why isn't this exploding again?
Maybe they figured that out when they rebuilt it.
Brandy, you need to get on her.
She has seen Korra.
Oh, you being
She's trolling.
you. I panicked for a second for you, Bree. Oh boy.
I don't know if she's recently rewatched it or not, but I know that she's seen it in its entirety when it first aired. So
Nice. Okay.
she's seen it.
So you know. Oh, yes. And, this is a good point. I have to listen to Braving the Elements. I haven't started that podcast yet.
I started it, and I didn't get through the first episode because it was kind of like chaotic and like every single time I feel like it was almost like watching one of our podcasts. I'm like,
Yeah.
why do people listen to us? Because I could not listen to these two professionals because they would like start a conversation and then like they would get sidetracked and I'd be like, but I wanted to hear that conversation.
Yeah, exactly. At least we always come back to the conversation. I'll tell you that.
So I'm sure the rest of them are great. I just haven't done it.
See, there we go. That makes it fun. I like it. And I will make a spoiler sign. And it's going to be like big blaring sign on neon paper. Okay, you binged it in December 2020. That was your comfort show during the end of 2020. That was your comfort show? You watched that for comfort? Okay. That show traumatized me. Oh gosh. But yeah, the trauma that I get from Legend of Korra is probably nothing compared to the trauma that they get in this episode from finding out the mechanic is helping the Fire Nation.
Yeah.
That was a horrifying reveal as a kid. Because you don't usually think of these adults, these people that are nice and kind, as helping the enemy. But then it's more nuanced than that because you're like, well, he had to choose it or choose death, basically. So it was so complex for a kid's show.
It is. But like at the same, I'm trying to like think back from when I first watched this episode when I was a kid, and like I can't tell you what I was thinking, but like the reveal of him working with the Avatar, not the Avatar, but the Fire Nation, I just kind of like, yeah, all right, like he's already destroying the temple, like why not?
Exact, yeah.
Like, I don't know. It
Makes
seems to
sense.
track.
Dude, based on your history, oh gosh, yeah. But it's when you open we mentioned earlier, when he opens that sacred area and he finds all these things, these evil pieces of machinery that are being used to kill people. Like I think his son's face pretty much sums it up, where he's just kind of horrifyingly just staring at these new inventions. Like his whole world has to be turned upside down because his dad is seen as like he's saving us, he's helping us, he's given me a life outside of this wheelchair,
Mm-hmm.
and then this.
Well, I think what's interesting, and obviously, like we don't see everybody who's like in this group. Like we don't really get to see hear their perspectives or anything like that. But like they're not really affected by the war. Like I don't feel like they think really anything about the Fire Nation because like their village was destroyed by a flood and that's all we know. And so like I think Teo, like obviously yeah, he doesn't agree with the war and you know I think he thinks fundamentally that the Fire Nation is a bad thing, but like I don't think that this could hurt as bad as it could. Like it could be so much worse for Teo. And I think that's kind of like one of the reasons why he like again like they so easily forgive the mechanic. Cuz he's like so like they showed up and they were going to kill us all or burn down the whole you know temple.
We probably would have died.
Yeah. So I cut a deal. And they were like, you shouldn't have done that, but okay. We'll fight off the Fire Nation. So
okay, fine. I guess we'll do it again, guys.
Yeah, so I think Teo understands, and I think even the game understands. Like
yeah.
in the episode, it seems like Aang is so much more upset about how they were treating the temple than the fact that they were working with the Fire Nation.
Yeah, that's true. He's really kind of just like, dude, this is my home. You're also helping them, but dude, come on.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this moment could have had a bit more weight to it, and maybe it could have had a bit more weight to it if we didn't spend the first couple of minutes of the episode talking to Gramp.
There we go. Also, I love how supportive our viewers are of each other. How dark of a place were you in at that time that Legend of Korra was comforting? Apparently pre-calc, so yeah. Yeah, oh, I vibe with that. Oh, you saw how stressed I got in the later years of my career at Valp. Freaking Diffie Q and Calc 3 and all the stuff that I never used.
It almost got to the point where, like, whenever I saw you, instead of saying hello, I just went, have you ate?
Yeah, you get your cheese quesadilla today. Oh, it's so much. Now I'm like, okay, cool. 3 meals a day, 10 pounds heavier. Let's go. Oh gosh, Aang, you were ruining my culture. Also, Aang, I see you making deals with Ozai. Yeah.
Also,
true.
and obviously this is just me severely overthinking this, but like, so they defeated the Fire Nation at the end of this episode. What's stopping the Fire Nation from coming back? They already know where they are.
Yeah.
And Aang and Katara and Sokka are just like, peace. We've done all we can do. Thank you. Please do not make any further deals with the Fire Nation. Sokka's like, I'll send you letters and
send you a messenger hawk.
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
And I'm just over here like, so what's stopping them from bringing more people? Or like, cause like obviously the Avatar is not always going to be there. Plus, if they hear reports that the Avatar was there, wouldn't they send more people?
Yeah, and now they have a fancy hot air balloon to attack from the skies with.
Exactly.
Like, this is not the face of a man who's going to go quietly into a nice night. Like, he's gonna come back with a vengeance.
Well, yeah, like, you obviously don't become the Minister of War from being a nice guy. So.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's a good point. That is what. Why didn't they go back and attack the Northern Air Temple once they regrouped or had more people?
And I'm saying, who's to say that they didn't? Like, did they
Ah.
just leave? Did they stay? Did the Fire Nation decide to, like...
Well, they did. They blew up the road, and there's a huge cavern, so it would be difficult. Yeah. Like a hot air balloon.
Also, like, we saw those tanks, like, shoot up those grappling hooks and, like, just roll up the side.
True.
Again, I feel like if the Fire Nation really wanted to do it, they would.
They're just like, Avatar doesn't stay in one place for too long. We'll just keep going.
But at the same time, like, the mechanic is obviously a very good resource for them.
They go to rehab. I like that theory.
So
no, true. There isn't much there for them.
I don't know. Maybe they don't.
Well, and the mechanic and or mechanist or whatever his name is, the dude. I'm gonna call him Charlie. And Teo don't mention any further attacks when we see them later. So maybe they moved on. Maybe they realized, hey, we're vulnerable. Maybe. Or the second round. We could put it in the book and just be like, the heck happened to the Northern Air Temple? Bruh. So I think that's acceptable. It's going right after why did Zhang Zhang desert? And I spelled it with 2 S's because I'm stupid.
Hey, I feel like Zhang Zhang is a really good pastry chef, and he's just keeping that under lock and key.
Hey, there you go. He pursued his passion.
Yeah, like
I like that.
The man makes a mean creme brulee.
Oh my gosh. I want a spin-off of that. I want an Avatar cookbook.
There is an Avatar cookbook.
What?
Yeah, it came in, I think it came out in like August or something.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh. Avatar cook.
I almost bought it for myself. And then I didn't.
We could do like a special side episode in between seasons of us just cooking food.
No.
Hey, they could have gone to the Earth Kingdom.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, did they just leave? Did they stay?
I guess. I'm just gonna put down, why didn't the Fire Nation attack the Northern Air Temple after the gang leaves?
Or did they?
Yeah. Did they?
Question mark.
Did they leave? Did the gliders leave? I don't know what else to call their group. All right, I like that. And I'm a slow typer. Or writer, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah. Why does Zhang Zhang eat sweets? No.
Is she leading up to a joke?
I think it's just a genuine question.
I feel like she's leading up to a joke.
I was gonna say, you know her better than I do, so I imagine it's probably a joke. And since the Meganist isn't agreeing to work for the Fire Nation anymore, and they have the balloon tech now, maybe they just decide to leave the people up there to starve in isolation. True, because they destroyed their way down too.
I guess, but
Or they have the gliders.
they have the gliders. But I guess they want to be able to get back up. Also, who's to say that they don't have an earthbender with them?
Exactly. You got one dude who's like, okay, I'll make you a road. Boop. Okay, let's pull back the gate.
Yeah. And if that's the case, like, why weren't they doing that to begin with?
There's so much more I want to know.
Because we don't see any earthbenders in the fight.
Yeah, we only see the non-benders and their fancy falling with style. Which, why can't I get this to load?
There's too many questions.
There really are.
There's too many questions.
He's the deserter.
I told you she was leading up to a joke. I told you. I could feel it.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, that's... oh, that's great, actually. The deserter. He should be a pastry chef. Now that I think about it, he should be. But yeah, no, we see this epic fight, which honestly is one of the more in-depth fights that they've had. They spent a large chunk of the episode on the fight.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like that's the theme for the end of the season. It's just the battles, which are epic. They had extra money left over, and they're like, let's make this fancy. How do you think this battle played out? Because as a kid, I thought the Fire Nation was going to win, and they should have won.
I mean, again, the bad guys don't win on, like, offshoot episodes like this. So, like, if it's not the finale, or, like, a really, like, 1 hour special, like, I don't expect the bad guys to win. And so I'm just like, of course they're going to win. Should the Fire Nation have lost? I don't know, because again, like, obviously they had the high grounds, and if you are a Jedi, that's all you need to win. So, plus, like, those tanks, like, those tanks were made, I would assume, to fight, like, earthbending infantry. So, like, flat ground.
True.
Made to, like, take a boulder.
Yeah, can go over rocks, can flip over.
And here they are, like, going up deep inclines. And then, like, even once they get to the top, it's not like they're gonna have a lot of room to kind of work. So, I could see, you know, those failing. And then again, all the soldiers were going up one narrow little road, which again is...
True.
Not the best way you want to get your troops into an area. So tactically, I don't know. I don't know who should have won. I think it makes sense for them to win.
I guess for me, I was more thinking, like, manpower. Like, you have a limited amount of people.
For sure. Like, if the Fire Nation got the upper hand, like, that's it. Roll the credits. This is the end of the series. Thanks for coming. We've enjoyed you.
They all died.
Plus, Sokka comes in and, like, kind of saves the day with that. So.
True. Yes, and it does show the kind of havoc that can be wrought with balloons. Any parent with children can know that, but also the Fire Nation as well. And yeah, it is a good demonstration of air power, because so far Aang's the only one who's been able to show air bending or use the air in any way. At least these guys are able to utilize the air, whether they're bending or not. So, and all-terrain tanks. ATs. Or ATs. AT&Ts. There we go.
ATTs.
ATTs. And they can all be beaten by bags of slime, which, completely agree, it was very Home Alone-y. It was, like, put together. It really does. Just like, let's drop some sacks of rotten eggs. Let's end it with an explosion. That actually, it does make sense. It is a very Home Alone episode. And it's, like, getting close to the winter solstice, so it's near Christmas time, so...
Winter solstice already happened.
It did? Oh, yeah. Snap, that was a few episodes ago. It's in winter. No. Oh, pulling at straws here. Gotta make it work. But no, it's another thing that got me with this episode is, like, these firebenders are genuinely trying to kill them. Like, not capture them. They are just like,
yep,
let's exterminate this problem.
I was gonna say they probably might not even really realize that, like, the Avatar's here, but I suppose that one guy came up and he saw the Avatars and then he went back down.
Yeah? Or would they be thinking, oh snap, did we not kill all the airbenders? Because these dudes are flying. Like, Aang can tell the difference between flying and gliding, but Katara and Sokka couldn't. So do these guys think that there are still airbenders out there?
Well, I don't really think so because, like, again, like that guy, the war minister, um, would know that it's just like these
Right.
earthbend, uh, earth, earth kingdom nation village earth people.
the people. I gotta find. My favorite part of this entire episode is when Aang. Okay, we have 3 people watching. I'm hoping one of them isn't my mom. When Aang just like bitch slaps the guy with wind.
That's pretty good.
Yes, queen. Oh my gosh, I gotta Google it now.
Like Aang really does not care in this episode. He's like,
I'm having a bad day. Don't test
slap
me.
you here.
Oh my gosh, literally. God bless Reddit. Oh, there we go. It's a bit dodgy sometimes, but I'll tell you what. It comes in clutch. And sometimes it just gives you a bone there. Just boom. Ah, love that part. Oh,
what's really sad is that he didn't see that coming because in universe you can't see airbending.
Oh, so this guy's just like, ugh.
Yeah, this guy's just like, he saw Aang like flick his hand, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so scared," and then he was like,
Smash.
"What the?"
Dude, what the heck? And you just see the rage. He's like, the frick, man. Yeah. Meanwhile, the mechanic is just like, man, you just got hit by a kid. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love a short king. Exactly. Yes. Just brilliant part. And you can find it by just Googling Aang bitch slaps Fire Nation soldier.
There you go.
It's great. Yeah, I don't think we have any children watching, so it's good. Oh, boy. But yes, that battle, I'm very surprised that they won it. Just like, as a kid, I was like, oh, they're in trouble, Aang's gonna have to abandon them. But the thing that came in clutch with this episode wasn't Aang and his airbending, wasn't Katara and her waterbending, wasn't any fancy gliding, it was gas.
It was gas. Just like a true children's cartoon. It was gas.
Yes, it was rotten, stinky, smelly gas that exploded. And it's very on brand for Nickelodeon. It just... That's the reason why I like this episode, is the science. It's actually applicable to real world. Like, airbending, waterbending, we'll never have bending. As much as we want, and cry at night because we can't have. But we do have natural gas, and we do have Sokka's powers of knowledge. And that's what made me, like, relate to this episode more. Sokka's a gassy guy. So that's just my 2 cents on why I like the episode.
That's fine. You know, it's not like my least favorite episode. It's just kind of one that I'm just kind of like...
You have a least favorite?
I mean, like, in the higher... Like, a least favorite doesn't necessarily mean that I hate it. It just means that I like others more.
Ah, true. It's not a rank. It's more of a... Someone has to be at the bottom, sadly.
Like, somebody gotta be picked last. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It was inevitable.
Yeah.
Also, we have an awesome thing from Rapunzel to show. And... which we can do for the fan art part. But before the fan art, we have fan theories.
We do.
And unless you have others to talk about the episode, I think we're game to move into the theories, because you said they are deep.
They're not so much deep, they're just, like, really thought-provoking.
Ooh.
So...
That'll be fun on sleep-deprived Katie's mind. Yes!
So we'll start with this one. This is one that I was thinking of. And I don't 100% agree with it because I think in the episode it kind of like disproves it a lot. But I think that the only reason why the mechanic even found the air temple to begin with is because he already cut a deal with the Fire Nation before they got there. Now in the episode, the mechanic says, like, when they're in that room, he says that a year after they had been there, the Fire Nation found them and were going to destroy the temple and kill all of them. So he offered them a deal and his services and what have you, yada yada yada. But I was kind of thinking, I would think that a couple of scouts for like the Fire Nation would just stay at like almost all the air temples.
Yeah.
Especially since the Avatar is back and they know that the Avatar is moving north. Then how long have they? Well, Teo is like 14, 12. How old is 14? How old is Teo? How long have they been here? Sorry,
He seems about Katara's age. I'd say maybe between Katara and Aang. 12. I'd say 13. Solid 13.
He's 13. All right, so they've been here for 12 years. I would still think that the Fire Nation would just be like a couple of scouts.
At every temple, just in case the Avatar comes back.
Well, exactly. The next thing that really made me think was when they were almost at the beginning of the episode, and Aang asks them how they even got here or something. The mechanic he pauses and he goes, "How did we get here?" Almost like he can't tell the truth, and like he really has to like formulate a really good plan, because if he tells the truth, he's going to obviously reveal that he's working with the Fire Nation. So I think the truth is he was already an inventor, and a pretty well known inventor, at least throughout the Earth Kingdom. And so the Fire Nation learns about him and approaches him, and then he says that he won't work for him or anything like that, and maybe causes like the flood that destroyed the village and killed his wife and hurt Teo and all this stuff. So then he cuts a deal with them just to save everybody else, because like they were just going to continue to kill people until he said, "Yes, I'll work for you." So then once the deal was struck, they moved him to the Northern Air Temple because of, one, if you lived within the Earth Kingdom or even in one of the colonies or in the Fire Nation, like, it's not like they would even send him to the Fire Nation. He would be susceptible to like attack. Like, obviously, if they learned about this inventor who's making all these inventions for the Fire Nation, that would be a pretty high target for the Earth Kingdom to attack. So they moved him to this air temple, and it's isolated. Nobody really knows that they're up there, and they give them all the supplies that they need. And so again, like this theory kind of expands to all of the adults in this village know that he's working for the Fire Nation. Like, they have to know, because
well, the dude shows up in his office. How could someone not see him walking up the base of the air temple?
I think that they're probably helping him build these things. Like, don't get me wrong, like, they're all his ideas, but I think that they are probably like helping him build these things, because otherwise the question is, like, I would assume that the Fire Nation is giving them metal and like some of the raw materials. So then, like, they're like, "Well, where is this material coming from?" They're like, "Well, this came from blah 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 blah."
The gods.
Yeah. So at the very
least, brought it to me.
At the very least, I think like the whole village is kind of in on it, and it's not just on the mechanics. But I do kind of wonder and theorize, maybe the only reason why they are even at this temple to begin with is because they struck the deal with the Fire Nation before they even arrived. And then I think another reason why he is lying, saying that, "Oh, we were here for a year before the Fire Nation found us and stuff like that. Um, I think like after he told Aang and everything um that they moved here after a flood and blah blah blah, like he started formulating like the next lie,
Mm,
because I think because this guy is incredibly smart. Like obviously he's goofy,
yeah.
but he he is incredibly smart. So I would think that he would be like, there is a chance that either Aang, while he is here, is going to learn about this, or at the very least, Teo is going to figure it out. So this
Yeah.
lie, it wasn't so much to try and explain why, to explain to like Aang and everybody what he was doing. It was trying to explain to Teo why he decided to make this
Ah.
decision, and it was kind of like more like this. I'm covering up, I'm covering up my own mistakes, and it's so that it softens the blow, so that I don't ruin that relationship. So
Yeah.
that's kind of the theory. It's a little messy again because I didn't have much time to think about it.
No,
Um,
it's definitely thought provoking because you start to realize, yeah, where are all these materials coming from? Where's the material going? What's happening with this? Why you'd have to see if he has these inventions and he's giving it to them. They have to take it out of the air temple, right? And they walk away from the temple with these new inventions. So it does make sense. How did Teo not realize? Oh no, you're muted. Oh, sad. In the meantime, while we figure that out, Katie, have you watched the old miniseries Map Pack? I have not, and now I need to because that sounds really cool.
I'm back.
You're back!
Hey.
Yay!
Anywho, I I don't think a lot of this was built like in this air temple. I think that he just did some smaller tests, and then like he gave the plans, and so I think a lot of this was kind of built
Mm,
off
that could
location,
make sense.
because that war minister, whatever the heck his name is, I know he has a name, I just don't know it. He's basically like the inventor, and like he is an inventor for the war. So like he's coming. Yes, I know. I meant to make those I really did. I was like, I'm gonna make some bingo cards, and um, you know what, life.
Yes.
but but anyway, so I think a lot of this
What the heck is going on with your mic now? There we go.
is
You good?
is everything okay? Did I just ruin everybody's ears?
Oh no, it wasn't too bad.
I have no idea what's going on.
Take a
Anywho,
shot of water, celebrate. Yes. Chug, 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 chug.
anywho, um, I don't think the mechanic is telling the whole truth. Like I think he struck the deal with the Fire Nation a little bit longer, and that's the whole reason why they're even here. Because that's like the next thing. So, what? He just decided to like climb a mountain and see what's on top of it. Like
He's a
he's like
fan
the
of the
only
sound
reason
of
why we're
music. He had to climb it.
exactly like not not unless he kind of knew that the temple would have been here, or what have you. But
Let's
I
be
think
honest, though. This is the face of a man who sees a mountain and goes, I wonder what's on top.
you're absolutely right. Also, I just want to point out, so his little monocle.
Is that a monocle or a tattoo?
Well, here's the thing. So, in this episode, it doesn't. Originally, it's not supposed to be a tattoo or a monocle. It's a scar that he got from a steam-powered telescope. But when the animators were doing his design, they thought it was a monocle. And so the writing team had to take out that like whole bit of him getting like this scar, because like I would imagine that it was kind of like a, my hand safe, my finger safe knife sharpener only took me 3 times to figure it out. And then like in the next breath, he was gonna like point to his eye and be like, "I got this from a steam powered telescope," and I blew my eyebrows off. But like they had to change, they had to change it because the animation team thought it was a monocle. Because like even you can even like there's one scene where it's kind of like a close up and his head's turned and you can kind of see the edge of the monocle, not on his skin, but like you can like see through it. And
Yeah.
but anyways, what's interesting is that so usually glass would have like a reflection, like there's no reflection for the monocle, but in the the next episodes that you kind of see him, they add that reflection, so you're like, it is a monocle.
Okay, he's not just with a red circle on his eye.
No, it's not, because like I was watching
Okay.
this and I was like, is that a scar? It has to be scarred, because again, like
Yeah,
I was looking
red.
for that like reflection, and I was like, well, there's no reflection. And then like I was reading some fun facts, and it is a monocle, but it was supposed to be a scar.
Interesting. And yeah, Bree, you got a good point. Would there be notes? But yeah, there's a lot going on in the episode. They can't write
plus,
everything,
plus
right?
they only do like each episode. At least for the first season, they only had about 2 weeks to work on each episode. So
Yep,
like
exactly.
the animation would like I guess take a little bit longer, but like a lot of like the post kind of production, like they only had 2 weeks to crank this out. So that's like sound and I'm sure that there were notes, but it just like the sheer volume of doing any kind of like TV series of any kind, like things get lost and you don't always have time to fix it. So
Exactly. And yes, Kool-Aid will work. Brandy has good brain theories, and Kool-Aid is made with water. So, good point. You have to have the water for the Kool-Aid. uh, it's a conspiracy, man. This dude would be into conspiracy theories. For sure. This man, if they had the internet in his time, he would be on the conspiracy theory web pages all the time.
he would.
Oh gosh, are there any others?
Or he would be running like his own version of like Yahoo Answers.
Yes, yeah, he just oh, doodle answers. It could work.
Canon. It's canon now.
He runs doodle answers. It's a help shop in Bossing say.
No, that's just like the avatar. That's just like the avatar version of Google is Doodle.
There you go. Yeah, it's doodle. Oh, I love that. Yes, ask Jeeves. But are there any other theories?
So there's one more that I wanted to talk about, and this theory is the one that's going to be really thought provoking. The theory is that yes, Aang is the last airbender, but he isn't the last air nomad. And so this theory kind of goes on and says that like it would be highly unlikely for the Fire Nation to be able to kill every single air nomad in existence. And so like 100 years ago, when they first attacked the temples, they got like the majority of them, but a couple of them escaped. Plus they're nomads, so who's to say that some of them weren't even at the temples when the temples were attacked and everything. And so like
Okay.
these few that escaped kind of go into hiding, and we know that airbending is very spiritual. And so since they kind of lost their connection to their culture and everything like that, they slowly start to lose their airbending. And so they go into hiding, and they mostly hide within the Earth Kingdom. Maybe a couple of them spread out other places, but like they live like they're from the other nations, and they marry and they have families and all of this, and it kind of continues again to Korra, saying that everybody in Korra spoiler alert, please, spoiler.
Spoiler.
Everybody
Yes, and spoilers.
Everybody in Korra who later on gets airbending, it's not random. Those are just the descendants of the air nomads who escaped the attack. And so it's just like this gene that they don't realize that they have, because let's think about this. Boomy, who is Aang and Katara's first son, he wasn't a bender, and then after harmonic convergence, he's an airbender. And where are the majority of these new airbenders? They are in the Earth Kingdom. And where would the air nomads who escaped the first attack, where would they live and try to go into hiding? The Earth Kingdom.
Earth Kingdom.
Exactly.
Oh.
And what's interesting is when the show was still coming out, there were these little, I think they're called like the Lost Adventures of Avatar or something. But
Yeah.
There were these little comics that were in Nick magazine. And there is a comic called Relics. And it kind of dives into this. And so we learn that shortly after Sozin's first attack on the temples, he gathered up all these relics and would hide them in places that he thought air nomads would hide. And since there's all these relics, the air nomad would see them all and would think other airbenders were there, and then they would be ambushed. And so this is like a very clear idea, at least within the universe, that a couple of, at least, a handful or maybe even more nomads survived that attack and were kind of surviving without being at the temple.
Oh,
So-
snap. I'm reading up on this because they have it on Avatar Wiki.
Yeah.
This is freaking dark.
It
It literally says, for spoiler, if you want to read it, you can. But it just says troops quickly capture people with the help of them who show. Wait a second. This is poorly written. Basically, they put the relics in a cave and.
Mhm.
Quote, much like some of the air nomad genocide survivors were lured into the caves and killed by Sozin.
Exactly.
Mm.
And what's also really interesting is later on in that comic, some things happen, and you kind of see like how those relics can be used. And so the theory again is like, okay, maybe if a couple of nomads did get into the trap, who's to say that some of them weren't able to get out of the trap? Because again, another theory is that the reason why Sozin attacked the air temples first wasn't necessarily because he knew that the Avatar would be an airbender. It's because airbenders are the most dangerous. Like, you cannot fight them very well. Like, they're extremely overpowered, especially if you're fighting a master. So, let's say a master airbender escaped the attack, sprang one of these traps. They could have very well gotten themselves out of it, and was just like, there's really, I'm just gonna find myself a nice earthbender and settle down.
Settle down. Go find me a boo. It's gonna be good.
Exactly.
Well, and they say right here, it says, this comic reveals that some airbenders did survive the initial attack on the air temples, and they began to regroup in the Earth Kingdom, and were eventually drawn down to the caves carved by the Fire Nation that they decorated with air nomad artifacts. Using the caves, Sozin set out rumors saying that the air nomads could find refuge in these caves, and they killed the survivors when they appeared there. Man, he's just a jerk. That's awful. That's like a fisherman cheating at fishing. Using all the fancy tech. It's like, no. You're going to go out there and you're going to actually catch those fish.
Yeah, so Aang is the last airbender, because there are no airbenders, because again, airbending is like a very spiritual thing. And plus, any descendants of these air nomads who survived probably don't even realize who their grandpa was or grandma was.
Yeah, they were told in secret.
They were either told in secret or like they weren't told at all, because even just knowing, I feel like, would have made like them a target.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so
Man, that's a sad theory, but I can see it totally happening.
it is an
Man.
extremely sad theory. Um, but
Mm-mm-mm.
again, like, like I really like this one just because of the way that it kind of affects Korra. Because that was like another big thing. It was just
Yeah.
like, okay, how did harmonic conversions cause this, and blah blah blah, and is it really random or not? And maybe it is random, or there's another reason to it, but I don't know.
Mm, this
This
one
one's pretty
works.
good. It's dark, but like
Yeah.
like it's again, like I said, it's just very thought provoking. It's like, because like
It is written. It is written down, so now we have it. Ooh. I can see that as being canon easily. Just kind of, it's very similar to what Bree mentions with Ty Lee character. If you haven't seen the show, who we will be talking about soon, since we're the Air Nomads, I can see that too. But yes, oh man, now you're giving me a philosophical question to think about for a long time.
I told you it was deep.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be an interesting conversation now. Interesting. Also, something that is interesting, this tweet that was shared right here. We're going to go through a couple of tweets because Bree and Rapunzel are both amazing. Apparently, in Dexter's Laboratory episode Chubby Cheese, the storyboarded artist instructed the audience to take off, as in, you know, get up and leave. But the animators interpreted it literally, and they actually flew away for no reason.
That's amazing.
I'm glad we got the monocle version of that. That's great. Aren't misinterpretations fun? Oh, your cats love watching us. That is, man, how cool is that?
I like how I'm getting Mike Wazowski'd by the cat.
Wait, that isn't you? What? Oh my gosh! But here's that tweet Rapunzel shared. These statues. This can be kind of considered fan art, I guess, because it's the original drawings. But the lion-headed sky bisons. So you have the lion turtle head with the the swirly little bits. Oh gosh, why won't it? It won't work. I'm gonna steal the image and we're just gonna show it on my computer because then I can enlarge it. Because why not? There we go. So it has like the swirly little knobs. So it was like the air-bending lion turtle. And then you have it on the body of a sky bison. So you had the original master of airbending.
So are they saying that that's the head of a lion turtle?
Well, it's the lion turtle head based on like the design of what the actual lion turtles look like in the Legend of Korra when they go back in time.
I gotta look at a lion turtle. I'm sorry.
Think you good? You good? Also kitties. Ah, yes. And it's from the Art of the Animated Series. Very cool. Yeah, this is one of those things where you're like, they actually put a lot of thought into this, and I wish you would have carved in or looked at more. So apparently, left photos Brian took on a snowboard trip. That one. An impressive collection of vehicles. Ooh, those ones sound cool too. But yeah, Lionhead Bison stone statue.
Huh. I just always kind of thought that like it was just a bison statue, and it was like the head was just like a little bit more ornate.
Could be, artistic. Now I have to write that one down too. Are they like lion turtle or are they just a sky bison exaggerated?
Because like the lion turtles, yeah, they kind of look like that, but like they don't have horns.
True. I gotta find. Wait a second. Sorry, side tangent. We're gonna look up the air-bending lion.
Well,
turtle.
I have it right here. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me see here. Darn it, my laptop.
Oh.
It won't do what I want it to. I just want to send it to you. All right.
If you
just
click
look
the
it up.
screen share option.
Huh? What? Who are we doing? What are we doing?
Nah, you good. You good. I got something for you.
Okay.
Here. I'm not good at this.
Because, like, obviously I'm not good at it either.
There we go. So I think this is the... Oh gosh, which one? They both have swirly swirls.
That's air. The top
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put my mouse over it like you could see it.
Aww. But see, he has little lumpy bumps, the circles, for hair. But he doesn't have horns. I'm betting it's just a hybrid. Or I'm completely reading it wrong.
I don't know. I just feel like it's like an artistic rendition. Okay.
Sounds like I need to read this book because it answers several of the questions in the notebook.
Oh, really? Okay, so like that's the next thing is that I really want to get this book and just like start reading it because I feel like there's so much more that I can learn.
Exactly, yeah. Like, just go to a Barnes & Noble's one day and just read it. Check your local library, kids. Nice little Arthur reference, which also, happy Star Trek Day. And Blue's Clues. My gosh, did you see the Blue's Clues video that came out?
I sure did.
With the original Steve.
I sure did. I don't know.
Like
I don't think it's a lion turtle head.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just
a bison.
Also,
I'm okay either way.
Also, like, who's to say that, like, maybe they don't, like, do a sky bison's hair? Like...
They gave it a perm? I'd actually be okay either way. I'm fine with that. That is just a cool drawing.
It is.
I could never draw something like that. And while I pull up
Wait, can you scroll up to the text here? Because this is something about...
These are for things on other pages.
No. Like, there's an arrow pointing to the head.
Oh,
what does that text say?
Lion head bumps have swirling texture.
Okay, well, maybe it is.
There's a pearl of wisdom. I don't know. And yes, it's a bison with a pearl.
Why not?
Boom. Beautiful. He goes to the salon twice a week. The little lion, turtle, bison statue are all over the Northern Air Temple. Maybe they're super spiritually in that way. Jazz hands.
Look at his little hands.
Look at this. I'm holding the pearl of wisdom. Adorable. But yes, while I pull up the other bit of art, yeah, for those of you who don't know, especially if you're watching from across the pond, there's a show over here called Blue's Clues. It's about this blue dog that's animated, but there's a human who's not, and he's on a green screen, and he interacts with them, and it's amazing. I hyperventilated when the lead character in it, Steve, left and got replaced by his cousin Joe because Steve went to college.
So my mom tells me that apparently I was very sad for a couple of days.
Aww.
I don't remember being sad, but apparently I was very sad.
Oh, it's so sad. But he made a video for the 25th anniversary. They brought back all the 3 people who have hosted the show. And he just says he's proud of us and he remembers us. And it's just like, holy crap, has the world gotten so bad that we guilt-tripped Steve into apologizing for leaving for college? Because that's what it kind of looks like. Oh, yeah. And we all cried today. Yeah, quite sad.
So,
yeah,
so for me, I was like, again, and maybe
there's a what?
Do you want to watch it?
I want to watch it. Has it come out yet?
Do you want to watch it?
Blue's Clues new movie.
We could do a review.
Wait a second. Oh my gosh. Wait, we should. Also, I don't want a Fazoli's commercial. I just want to see this trailer. Come on.
Well, you're going to get a Fazoli's commercial. And
I can't even eat Fazoli's. It caused my grandma to have, like, kidney failure, so my family isn't allowed to eat there. Yeah, it's bad. Wait, this isn't a
Okay.
real trailer. This isn't a real trailer. Bullcrap, man. Steve from Blue's Clues revisits his eggs. I can't find the actual video, but so help me. If that video if it comes out, there will be a reaction. Oh, 2022. Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
we got some time.
we got time
to plan.
We can become emotionally stable before then.
But no, like I didn't have like an emotional reaction to it. I was just like, man, the marketing team at Nick Jr. They know what's up. They should probably
They
be
are
paid some more.
smacking it. They are totally destroying so many. Yeah, it's perfect. Go watch it. It breaks your heart in the best of ways. But this is the cutest piece of fan art that I could find. This you got little Teo, and you got his. This is by iCookieChan on DeviantArt, and it looks like a sweet little cinnamon roll.
I mean,
like if I saw him and he flew by.
Like
oh, for sure. If he flew by and I was like, "Hey, do you want to ride on my glider?" I'd be like, yes. like this is what we could have seen with Haru, like a fun, easy, like a earthbender who enjoys life. But I understand why they didn't, because
oh
trauma.
my gosh,
you've brought
up a really good point. Because like
I did.
No, like. So why?
Okay.
No. Why is Teo successful in Haru? Like everybody hates Haru.
Because Teo had a really traumatic childhood and now he's still happy and fun, and Haru had a really traumatic childhood and he's sad and depressed.
But like,
I think that's just my interpretation.
I suppose, but then like at the same time, so like a terrible childhood, kind of depressed. Isn't that just Zuko, only without the anger?
True.
So
is Haru the earthbending version of Zuko?
I don't know.
If the earthbenders had attacked, would he somehow find his way into hunting the Avatar? Yeah, don't hate Haru, but I like Teo better.
All I'm saying is that like why is I don't think anybody really dislikes Teo. Like everybody's just like, oh, look at this precious little bean. But like Haru, like people are like, and then the mustache comes out, and you're like, we hate him.
Yeah, just no. It's true. Haru's life was filled with threat, whereas Teo's dad was trying to protect him.
I guess.
I could see that. That makes sense. The difference. He also had apparently, Haru doesn't have a dad for a while, and Teo doesn't have a mom. So it's like, seeing similarities in their stories and very different outcomes.
I guess maybe because Teo didn't really know of the Fire Nation.
He was out of the protect the bean range.
Yeah, I think Haru is 14. Let's see here.
It makes a difference.
Let's see here. How?
Oh, true. And Haru had to hide who he was. Teo could fly free. Literally. Alright, now it's making more sense. I take that. Interesting. Alright.
Wait.
The sweet little cinnamon rolls from the Earth Kingdom.
Haru. I just want to know how old you are, sir.
How old Haru? Question mark.
That's basically what I typed in. I like how Teo's age was right there, but heaven forbid. He has to be the same age as Katara.
Yeah, I'm thinking Haru's 14, 15.
He has to be.
He seemed older. Maturity-wise. Plus, you gotta think, he started to have a mustache. And, facial hair and puberty, 14, 15, that's when that usually happens. So...
Oh, okay, I finally found it. Age 16.
Okay, there we go. That works. So he's about Sokka's age.
Nah, he's actually the same age as Zuko.
Oh, snap, okay. Oh, yes. Aang and Toph, protect the bean. Haru, you're on your own. Oh, yes. But he's flying free, and he's happy, and this picture makes me happy because he's happy. Happy.
So, quick question.
That's bad. Yes.
Do you think Teo is a descendant of an air nomad?
I don't think so, but I think it would be awesome if he was, because then he could like use the airbending to get around, like the waterbenders who are amputees or were born with birth defects and they don't have arms. Like they use the waterbending as arms, kind of like a ooh. And like, he could use airbending and just like air scooter around.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that. Maybe. We'll leave that as a solid maybe.
Okay.
Oh gosh. But yes, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't.
Ah, well, in that case, I'm going to go fix my air conditioning unit because it is broken and it's boiling in here. I'm at the boiling rock. So I'm going to cool things down a little bit. But yeah, this was a really interesting episode to think about, but I'm so excited for the next few. We're getting to the last 3 episodes of the season.
We are.
So good. So good, guys. It's going to be amazing. I know, Brandy, you said we're going to be off next week, and then I think the week after that, I'm actually on vacation. I'm going back home to Michigan. So I'll see if I can maybe get my computer set up there. My parents aren't necessarily tech savvy, bless them. But we'll see how it goes. But we'll be back, guys, because we are getting to the end of the season, and it's going to get good.
Oh my gosh.
We get to take on blatant sexism. Ha! But yes, and one final fun tidbit. Haru is like a foil character for Zuko.
I still think he's a foil character for Katara.
I think he's just a terrible character. No, just I won't start that fight as we log off. But thank you guys. Thank you for everyone who's tuned in. We got Bree, we got Rapunzel, we got Louise X Sparrow, we even had Kylo Tim pop on. Y'all are amazing, and we'll be back here again soon. Ish. Okay, guys. See you then.